There is a rule among old cartographers. If a town appears on every map, it exists. If a town appears on no record, it never did. Elena Vasile had spent 14 years mapping the unmappable. Border disputes, contested territories, villages swallowed by rivers or erased by war. She worked for a private geographic institute in Bucharest, and she was very good at her job because she trusted one thing above all else: evidence. In March of last year, Elena was digitizing a collection of 18th century Romanian maps when she found it. A town called Mireille. It sat in a valley between two mountain ranges in northern Romania, a region Elena knew intimately. She had mapped that area herself 3 years prior. There was nothing in that valley. No town, no road leading to it, no river running through it. But on this map, drawn in 1743, Mireille was there. Detailed, streets named, a church marked at the center, a population noted in the margin. 612 souls. Elena told herself it was a cartographer's invention. Phantom settlements were not uncommon in old maps, sometimes drawn as copyright traps, sometimes simply errors. She filed it and moved on. 3 weeks later, she found Mireille again, on a map from 1809, then on a military survey from 1922, then on a hand-drawn map from 1967, the year her own institute was founded, tucked into an uncatalogued archive box that had apparently never been opened. Same valley, same streets, same church at the center, same number in the margin. 612 souls. Every map, different cartographers, different centuries, different languages. The same town, never changing, never growing, never dying. Elena applied for a research permit and drove north in the first week of April. The road into the valley was not on any modern map. She found it anyway, a dirt track behind a collapsed barn, barely wide enough for her car, cutting through pine forest so dense the midday sky disappeared entirely. She found Mireille at the end of that road. It was exactly as drawn. Cobblestone streets, stone buildings with dark timber frames, a church at the center with a clock tower, the clock showing the correct time, she noted. Smoke rising from chimneys, vegetables growing in window boxes, people going about their morning. They were not surprised to see her. An old woman outside a bakery looked up, nodded once, and went back to sweeping her steps. 2 children chasing a dog stopped to stare, not with fear, not with curiosity, with recognition, as though they had been expecting her, as though they knew her name. Elena walked to the church. She did not know why. It simply felt like the place to go, the way in a dream you move toward things without deciding to. The churchyard was old. Hundreds of graves, some so weathered the names had long dissolved into the stone. She walked among them slowly, reading what she could. She found her own name on the eastern wall. Elena Vasile. Born in Bucharest. The year correct. The photograph embedded in the stone, the custom in Romanian cemeteries, was her face. Younger than she was now, but unmistakably her. The same eyes. The same small scar above her left eyebrow from a childhood fall. The date of death was 3 weeks from that day. Elena stood at that grave for a long time. She was a woman who trusted evidence, who spent her life measuring and recording and documenting. And the evidence in front of her, carved in stone, worn by what appeared to be years of weathering, was unambiguous. She photographed it, measured the stone, wrote everything in her notebook. Then she walked back to her car and drove home without speaking to anyone. She told no one. She canceled her appointments for the following 3 weeks. She stayed home. She did not drive. She avoided windows. On the 19th day, she called her sister. Not to explain, just to talk, to hear a familiar voice, to be reminded of ordinary things, her sister's children, a broken washing machine, plans for summer. Her sister asked if she was all right. Elena said she was fine. On the 21st day, the day marked on the stone, Elena woke early, made coffee, and sat at her desk. She opened her mapping software. She pulled up the valley in northern Romania. Mireille was gone. Not just from a modern maps, from every digitized historical record in the Institute's database. The 1743 map, the 1809 survey, the military record, the hand-drawn archive copy. Gone. as though it had never existed. She still has her photographs. She still has her notebook. And on the wall of her study, she has pinned a single printed image, her own face staring back at her from a gravestone in a town that no longer exists on any map in the world. She checks the date every morning. She has not driven north again. Not yet. If this story stayed with you, you know where to find us. Night Ward. New stories every week.